This is our game Madzi. It's been developed as a collaboration between the Technological University of the Shannon Throcra, which is an international NGO that works in Ireland. I'll begin with the opening sequence, which hopefully will give you a sense of the narrative behind the game.
Amidst the picturesque landscapes of Malawi, climate change tightens its grip. With rising temperatures come longer dry spells and more frequent droughts, leaving rivers depleted and wells dry. The once fertile soil now lies barren, while villagers face the daunting reality of dwindling water supplies and withering crops.
So the game is based on a video that Troker have taken of this particular village in Malawi and a family that lives in the village. So we've remained as true as we possibly could to the original narrative. It's aimed at 10 to 14-year-old children in late primary school, early secondary school in Ireland. And the game opens with the morning routine of a family in Malawi, specifically around their struggles to get water for the family. So Melita is the mother of the family, and she wakes her two children, Patrick and Patricia. Patricia then is sent to tend the chickens, while Patrick, who is the character that you play in the game, has the job of collecting water. Now, Patrick can interact with various different items in and around the house, so it'll tell you what is behind the curtain and the bed. But the main thing is that he will interact with his mother and he can ask her a series of questions. Can I go back to bed? Which a lot of kids will pick. But the main thing that we want him to learn is what he needs to do this morning. So Melita explains that he has to collect water from the well. So that's his task. So Patrick can go pick up the bucket and then go outside to pick up the water. So once he's outside, there's a whole range of different things that he can explore, and we would encourage players, like, he needs to go to the right, but we would encourage him to go to the left as well because he can interact with Patricia. He can learn about the swing, is where they like to play. There's various different things that aren't relevant to the game at the minute, but he will need to come back to them. This is where they make charcoal. So these have relevance later on in the game. So we would encourage players, or I suppose the idea is the players would explore and learn a little bit about what's available around the game, so that they can come back to them later in the game when they might need to use them. So he walks onto the village. um, so within the game, then we have a he can go up here to the well, the well is on this way, and then we have in the overall map. So that brings him to the well. So he goes up to the well. I'll just do this particular stage in the event. So this opening sequence is really to get people familiar with what it looks like. So there are little things to collect along the way, including so there's little assets. So facts about Malawi, and you can collect those and put them in your inventory. The main thing that we want at this stage is for Patrick to get to the well, and is for Patrick to get to the well and try to use the well. And the problem here is that the well is dry, so he can't use it. So he has to go to the spring instead, and the spring is not protected, and it takes him longer to get the water. So it's just really that's the opening sequence to the game. So at this point in the game, Patrick has been he went to the spring to get water. It was dirty. He made his way home. There was no chlorine tablets to purify it, so he went into the village and he interacted with one of the members of the village water committee. Now he's on his way to school and he can talk with this farmer. And again, this is just a mechanism by which we would hope that people will learn about the lives of people. So he's greeting him and he's telling him that he's going to school, that he's already been to the spring, and that he had to go to the village to get chlorine tablets, and now he's on his way to school. And the farmer obviously says it's been a busy morning for him, but how important education is and how he didn't have the opportunity for education. Um, and it was something he regretted. So Patrick asks him what he's doing, and he says he's on his way to the well to get water for his crops. And of course, Patrick knows that the well has dried up and tells him that. So the farmer then says he has to travel. It'll take him a long time, but that he'd like if there could be a borehole in the village. So sorry. And that would make life so much easier. So then Patrick asks what is a borehole, and the farmer explains that it's a deeper type of well that allows them to get water even though there might be a drought, and that it's safer and it's better water. So Patrick hears that and heads off up the hill towards school. Now the player will have to remember that this is the way to the school. So Patrick then makes his way to school, and once he gets to school, it's the end of chapter 1. So this is chapter 3. Chapter 2 continues with a lot of activities, but chapter 3 is really about how things evolved after some time. And it shows how different projects have helped to develop different things in the village. So you can continue on your journey, and you meet the farmer again. And this is the only intervention that we'll look at in this particular chapter. But there's a whole range of things that have happened in the village since you began the game. And one is that the farmer has gotten an irrigation system, a solar powered irrigation system, and they have their conversation about that. So yeah, the intention with the game is that the exploration and the information that students will glean will give them a real sense as to what the challenges are, but also what the solutions to those challenges, what the solutions to those challenges